Today we're going to install Infinity Shield on our Shea Abstract Ocean garage. So what is Infinity Shield? So the two single optical sensors you have at the bottom of each of your garage door rails, they obviously detect anything that's this high, about 6 inches. What this will do is detect anything up to 7 feet high. So each of these is about 7 foot long. I'll throw up a photo now, but it casts a web of obviously invisible light, so that if anything enters this area or this area, the garage door will stop. Why do you need that? Well, just like any hatchback, for example, the Model Y hatch sits out further than the rear bumper. So if you have a close garage, this one's a big garage, but if you have a close one and the back of the car is near the edge, then this could potentially contact the garage door. The other thing would be obviously a truck bed or something like that, especially on a Rivian or a Tesla, where you don't really get any warnings that the truck bed is down. You close the door on that, you're going to cause some damage. So, and then there's a whole safety element, you know, pets, kids, that sort of thing. It's just far more robust than the legally mandated single beam that we have at the bottom of the door. So in this video, I'm going to do the installation. It doesn't take long at all. It's sort of a plug and play. Essentially, these replace the single sensors. There's really no trick to it. So compatible with all garage doors. In here we have a LiftMaster something or other, which is also Chamberlain, the same company. So we'll be doing it on here, but any of the sort of more recent brands, LiftMaster, Chamberlain, Genie, I'm going to forget all the others, but there's little dip switches on here that you can adjust to accommodate all of the regular brands. All right, with that said, let's do a what's in the box and then we'll get started on the install. Okay, so in terms of what you get in the box, you get your two sensor strips. So one is the transmitter, which is the one with the switch on it. The other one is the receiver. Transmitter goes on the right side of the garage looking out, and then obviously the receiver goes on the other side. You get two mounting clips per rail. These are the standard ones. This is what it ships with, well, as standard, but you can choose at checkout whether you need long ones, short ones, or sorry, adjustable ones, or short ones. And I don't know which camera's looking. No, I'll show you in a minute, but these are basically exactly the same as what's holding on our single sensors right now. And then that's it. That's all you get. You get a little instruction book, but you know, this video hopefully will end up being about probably 10 minutes long. I tend to ramble. So you can kind of follow along step by step. We'll do one side in detail and then fly through the other side. The only things you need to provide, some wire nuts to tie into your existing sensor wires. You can either use the regular traditional ones. I tend to prefer these little clip things. These aren't ideal. These are 4-way rather than 2-way, but either way, just to tie the wires together. Little mini screwdriver if you need to adjust the dip switches, which are behind this little thing here. And a little bit of tape to mark the installation location. So I'll show you that in a second, but any tape will do. And now I did mention earlier the brands it's compatible with. Found a list finally. So Genie, Overhead Door, Wayne Dalton, LiftMaster, Chamberlain, Sears, Craftsman, Master Mechanic, Stanley, Raynor, Sommer, Linear, Guardian, and Marantec. And depending which of those you have, you set the dip switches accordingly. So for me, this is a LiftMaster or Chamberlain, same thing. So both the dip switches need to be down, which they are not. So we'll fix that in a second. All right, let's get on with the install. Okay, first thing we need to do is remove the power. So a lot of garage door openers have them overhead, obviously. Our one's to the side, so I'm just gonna pop the power out. I already brushed up here to get rid of all the scaries, at least most of them. And then over on the rail, we're just gonna grab it. And here's what we're looking for. So obviously the sensors face outwards. Let me turn on these. So the sensor, or in fact these are the transmitters, face outwards. It's going to sit somewhere like that. It's going to be replacing my bottom one down here. So what you want to do is mark it so that it's not obstructing anything else. So we have this deadbolt thing here. We have hook brackets screwing it to the wall here. So that's what we're going to mark where we're going to put the clips. Let me just get my tape, get the ladder out of the way. And if your builder is any good, it'll be the same for both sides, but you should probably verify that. So we're going to hold that there, So there is perfectly clear, and then somewhere down here. So having roughly equidistant, but just providing sufficient support without obscuring anything else on the rail. And then what I'm going to do is just check that makes sense over here on this side, which it does. So I'm just going to replicate that on both sides. Okay, so I've got my tape marking the spot. Can't quite see it, but good enough. So we're going to install our brackets. They go in like this, and they go in with the claws, this area here, facing the same side as the sensors or transmitters. So there's my blue tape. Let's tuck that edge under, and then put those other ones in like that. Then we're going to do the same over here. Oops, go the right way around, of course. Tuck that one in, and then just push those ones home. So those two are in. Let's replicate that on this side. So again, the sensors or receivers are here. Make sure I've got them lined up, more or less. It doesn't have to be absolutely precise. So claws facing me, because that's where the sensors are. Like that. And the same over here. Okay. Now I'm going to remove my existing sensors and put the transmitter on this side, the right side. Okay, sorry if it's a little dingy down here on the camera, but all I'm going to do is just pull this away, like so. And I'm going to want the wire, so I'm going to snip that with some snips, which I did not have ready. Okay, snips acquired. So I'm just going to snip this here. Leave enough of a tail on that just in case you ever need to reuse it for any reason. Then just pull a bit of this out, split it. This is just bell wire. Obviously this is all low voltage, so nothing to worry about in terms of getting a shock. And then just strip the end off. Shouldn't use a blade like this. Use proper wire strippers. Okay, so now we've got that done, he says. Okay, now we've got that done, what we're going to do is mount the first sensor rail. Okay, so we're going to grab our transmitter rail and we're going to clamp it on, and the way you do that is just sort of push it on up here and then snap it around. Same down here, and you can see that's got a real good grip. I'm about 6 inches off base here, so if you want to make it lower you certainly can. This is an 8-foot garage, I think. I'm going to slide it down just a bit just so we have, you know, at least the original coverage that we had with the single sensor as well. So let's do that. Is this going to slide? No. Okay, that's good. This is absolutely my first time installing this, in case you can't tell, so stay tuned to avoid all the mistakes I'm going to end up making. Alright, there we go. So about 1 inch off the ground, first sensor's here, but it spreads like a web of sensors, or a web of beams anyway, so no problem there. Then we're going to connect it up. Now this does require a certain polarity. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. You're not going to break anything, it just won't light up. So we're going to hazard a guess that this is correct, but we're just going to do this temporarily for now. Okay, So we are going to plug the power back in. There's my ladder. And see if we get a green light. We have a flashing, so that's good. It's beeping because it can't see the other sensor rail yet. So we're going to unplug the power. We are going to finalise that wiring job. Okay, we're going to come back and tidy up that wire later, obviously. Okay, now we put the other side on. So as before, remove the sensor, snip the wire. Let me get my snips. Strip the wire. So this just snaps off. Leave a tail on this in case you ever need to use the sensor. Then you'd think I would have bought a wired stripper in between takes, but nope, still gonna use just a regular blade. Okay, so that's done. So we're going to mount it. Remember, we're about an inch off the ground over there, so we're going to do the same thing over here. There. In fact, I'm going to have to move this bracket a little bit. All my careful measuring. Let's move that up there. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom this time, just so I'm at the right height. You don't have to have perfect alignment like you do for your single sensor beam. It just has to be approximate. There we go. Then we're going to connect this up. Again, do it temporarily first, just to make sure. I think I used this logic before, so let's do that. This does have a green light on it, so that's our indicator that we're good to go, if this works. Plug the garage door back in. Okay, so this side we've got a red light. This side, I'm guessing we have nothing, so I'm going to switch polarity, and that should fix that. Oh, actually, no, my wire broke. Don't know if you can see that. That's excellent. So let's fix that real quick. It's my expert wire stripping, not doing what it should do. You'd think this would teach me to go ahead and get a wire stripper, but no, still going to do this. Okay, one more time. So my stripy wire goes to this one. You can hear the beeping, that'll stop in a minute. The beeping is also optional, so I'll show you how to disable that. Let's try to break the wire this time. Alright, there we go. So obviously the beeping has stopped. Have a green light over here. Step in the way, beep starts. Have a red light illuminated over here. So you just saw a quick demo. If I just pull this camera back a little bit. So it doesn't matter now where I am, you'll see me and cause the door to stop closing, of course. So the whole area is covered now, whereas before it's just this bottom bit. You'll all be used to stepping over to, escape your garage. Can't do that anymore. Okay, last thing I need to do is check my dip switches. So using the little guide, which was here. So I have the LiftMaster, so I need down, down on dips 1 and 2. Grab my little screwdriver. Move this out of the way. Could have done this before we put this on. So hopefully you can see on my glasses, up, down. I need down, down. So I'm just going to do that and that. And then this is where you turn the beep on and off. I'm going to leave it on for now just for the demo, but I'll turn that off. Okay. So now, let me grab a garage door opener. Okay, so now we're going to test it. So I've got my garage door opener here. So obviously up here, it'll stop, it'll beep. You get the idea, same down below. So full coverage now, as soon as I enter the area, it starts beeping. You can disable that again, it's just a switch on the side. But that's it, that's how easy it is to install these. More or less plug and play, you're just replacing the single beam sensors with a multi-beam sensor, helping with safety, helping with hitting it with your car trunk, your truck bed, tailgate, anything like that. It's really good. And also just safety, right, for pets, kids, whatever. All right, with that said, thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick PS or follow up. Anyone that knows me knows I hate having messy wires, so I just use, hope you can see that, it's very, let me come around here so the outside is outside. So you can see I just use some cable ties, as long as you're not obscuring the sensors, it doesn't cause a problem at all, but it just gets the wires up out the way. I don't like having wires trading on the floor because they're going to get whacked with a broom or something like that. And then over here on the other side, obviously same thing with the wires, and then this is your beep switch here. So I'm going to turn that off now. Still does the job, but no more beeps. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.